Hey, y'all, and welcome back. We just wrapped up our growth challenge over in my Authentic Instagram Engagement Facebook group. And let me tell you, we hold that challenge 1 or 2 times a year. It's a free challenge. It's always a fun, positive experience full of community, Christian female entrepreneurs, podcasters, authors, and bloggers seeking to grow their Instagram audience while making an impact for Christ. And while I grow my own audience and platform through this experience, I felt that you might want to know how to hold a challenge on Instagram, but maybe on a smaller scale, especially if you're just starting out or regaining traction. So what you're about to hear is a small part of a coaching session inside my Insider Mentorship. The women here have either been clients of mine or participated in my Authentic Online Marketing School, and a large part of any training I do surrounds building community and teaching others how to do this too, to grow their own communities. Inside my mentorship, I provide hot seats and pods and group feedback. So during the upcoming session, member Joni Scott, formerly known as Stormin' the Gates on Instagram, asked this question, and I think it's a valid one to share with you what I advised her to do so that you can start holding your own free challenges to grow your platform. A key thing we provide in my mentorship is ongoing feedback, and Joni has continued to grow. And since the taping of this, changed her name to Joni_Scott.prayer to better reflect who she is and what she provides. So after the show today, be sure to click on the show notes to follow her and go say hi. After working hard on her Instagram account, Joni's question was, what are the next important things to focus on to build a tribe and add more value? I'd like to work towards virtual and in-person mini prayer retreats. I have some great ideas, but I think it's still a few steps away. I've changed my profile about 100 times since my last hot seat. Like most of my Instagram, it's better, but any new feedback would be welcome. So y'all listen in to what I told Joni, and maybe you can do this too.
Welcome to Authentic Online Marketing with Ruthie Gray. Growing awareness for your blog, podcast, book, or product involves more than dancing to reels and yelling, "Buy my thing." This show models quality over clamor so you can put your spin on your message and market in a way that feels authentic to you, because nobody wants to sound like an infomercial. And now, here's your host, Ruthie Gray.
So, equipping you to find joy in prayer so you will have strength for each battle you face. God hears you. Click to listen to the latest podcast. Okay, so this is great. I really like what you say, and I think it's very clear. Of course, you know that I would encourage you to get that email opt-in made and get in the email cycle. And the reason for that is, yes, we are building on Instagram, and I have some ideas for you, for your tribe there. But in case Instagram would ever quit or go down on us, we want to have that newsletter that we own. We do own that. And so that is why.
I did mail out my first one. I mean, it was really simple, but I've gotten started.
Awesome.
I got a lot to learn. So,
well, I know. And a lot of people, email and newsletters and opt-ins are always a very hot topic because they're very important. And I just want to let all of you know that I am going to be working on a course like that in a taught group. So it is in the works because I get that a lot. People need help with that, and they need to find their voice and things like that. So good for that. Once you can get your opt-in, then you can put that in there. But it's looking cohesive. Your highlights are beautiful. I love them. I love your feed. It's fun. There's a lot of variety. It's not the same thing every time. You have hit on some great things that you know you can get feedback on. And I would encourage you to do more of the things that you get feedback on, like you get engagement and things like that. and I think you're doing a great job. For building your tribe, something that you could try. So it's prayer focused. So a Storming the Gates 5-day challenge or a 5-day prayer challenge where it has a specific focus, like maybe it's for your kids, for your grown kids, or maybe it's an urgent need. So it's a 5-day challenge. And so what you can do is you can do it through email and through this. But if you're really wanting to grow your Instagram tribe, you can just do it on here and form a chat group like we do. So that every day in the chat group, the people that say they're in or they join, and you could have it in your newsletter sign up too. But they need to tell you, they can DM you or whatever, and then you open that chat group as they join, and people can be chatting it up. And, it may end up that you make it the chat group, you open it up like 5 days before you actually have the official challenge so people can get to know each other. And then you do that 5-day challenge in that chat group where you just give the prayer prompt every day. Then everyone just kind of weighs in on what their need is that day or whatever, So it could be something simple like that would really help you. That's how I started building my tribe for teaching Instagram. I started doing little challenges like a 5-day engagement challenge, opened up a pod. People got to know each other. They loved it. We made it fun. You don't have to do a whole lot, but people love community. So that is a great idea for you, is to do that. Then
another in advance, would you start talking about it? Can you?
Well, first you want to set the dates that you want it for. And then you need to seed it probably 2 to 4 weeks in advance, start talking about it, that it's coming. Again, make it a niche focus to where it's for people who want to pray for their adult kids or pray for something specific. Okay?
I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay. My people who take my challenge to issue a challenge usually have that's where it starts. They usually have some pretty good results from that. Another thing that I want to challenge you to do to grow your tribe. See, there's 2 ways to grow your tribe. The one is through, your own concentrated followers, your avatar, what you're trying to do and serve them. And then the other is through your colleagues. And so, even going back to this week's challenge of collaborations, reaching out to someone else in this group would be great, or someone else in, that on Instagram, both of you doing like a little live together about prayer. And then you say at the end, I want to invite you, by the way, to join my 5-day prayer challenge. It's happening XYZ time. The first thing you want to do is decide the name of your prayer challenge and when it's going to be. And then you start seeding it and you try to do a live with someone else so that you can broaden your message and all of her followers can get notified as well as yours. And it needs to be someone that's, would complement your brand and what you're doing. And then thirdly, you will, if you do that challenge, you will want to go live. You'll want to go live probably a week before and announce it again just on your own channel, and then go live that very first day of the challenge too, even if it's just for 5 to 10 minutes, and just name what you're covering on those 5 days and what it's about so that people can even get in on it in that last day. Tell them there's a chat group offered.
Okay. So I have them sign up for the newsletter to be part of the challenge as part of how that works. Is that, am I getting that right?
It should be, but you don't have to do it that way. I mean, they can get in your challenge, and often you have to earn their know, like, and trust first before you get them on your newsletter. So really, it could be as simple as, here's the challenge, send me a DM if you want in, and I'll add you to the chat group, or I'll add you to the wait list, you just make a little list of your own, and then, just make sure that you have their usernames so that once it's time to open up the chat group, then they can do that. And when they join the chat group, you need to ask them if they would share it in stories that they've joined that and tag you. And you will probably, most likely by then at least, have a visual for it that you have already shared in your posts, in your feed post, that they can share, and share it to stories and all that. Just ask them, to share and tag you. And if some of them are on your list, for sure, go ahead and share it to your list too, and send that graphic and say, if you're in, share this to your stories and tag me.
I like that.
Yeah. After Joni's hot seat, she went on to collaborate with another member of my mentorship, and they held a prayer challenge together, which is what we'll follow up with next week, how to collaborate on a challenge to grow your audience on Instagram. So my question for you is, what kind of challenge could you do to grow your platform? Make sure it's geared toward your own audience message and the offerings that you have or hope to have in place. Choose 5 to 7 days just so you don't get overloaded on your first go round. You can always hold another one later after you test the waters. That's what I did. You can also use this to grow your newsletter platform at the same time. Provide a special download, a guide, or a checklist so you can take the relationship off social and into their inbox, which is always a smart choice. As you heard in the training, I encouraged Joni to get her newsletter opt-in in place and start sending consistent emails, which is something I teach inside my Authentic Email Marketing School, which is starting February 14th, Valentine's Day. This is 2022 as I speak, and I have a few slots left, as a matter of fact, if you're interested in growing your email list or honing your story brand skills and getting those open rates up. We will have information in the show notes, so you can check it out, but the deadline for sign up is February 9th. So be sure to check it out and see if maybe that's for you. I also have a whole podcast series on newsletters, which we did in late 2021, episodes 9, 10, and 11 of season 2 of this podcast, all about effective newsletter opt-ins, how to write newsletters people want to read, and email providers to choose from. So we will link those in the show notes too. The main thing to keep in mind is to provide value for your followers when you are doing a challenge. If you do this without expecting anything in return, they will become your biggest fans, and eventually some may become clients. Some of my clients now, the current clients that I have, started first with my challenges 2 and 3 years ago. You're sowing the seed, and it's never in vain, whether they purchase or not, because you're building your authority, your authenticity, and your own brand and your platform. Eventually, others will not only want to follow you, but collaborate with you, which we will talk about next week. So join us then, and don't forget to check out our email school while the doors are open. For now, remember to share your message your way in your own authentic voice.